What's going on, folks? Canal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Man, strange pickings in the market today. Ain't gonna, no joke around this one. You know, we were flat about the day and we gave up a good chunk of yesterday's awesomeness. And we kind of finished around, yesterday's, bottom of the wick. Now, does this mean that, yesterday's bull run doesn't mean anything? No, I don't think that means anything yet. This is just we're in a wait and see zone. So there's a couple things. So first, let's talk about today's stock market action. Then let's dig into the indexes. Then we'll go into the watch list. So a couple things. On a longer term basis, look, we're in a range, right? And we've been in a range now for months. We are at the same price today as we were in November 4th, right? So the market has been hot, yes, but it's been in select names like quantums and some small caps and penny stocks and stuff like that. But, the rest of the market's been essentially the same. If you look at the SPY, right, we're at just a really weird looking range too, right? There's not even a pattern you can assign to this, right? So if you're looking at trading book, you're like, what is this market? It's nothing. It's just a range, and range looks like nothing for the most part. But the big hairy Indian butt is that there are some pockets of stuff going on, right? And I think that's where we have to look at this. I thought yesterday's action was really bullish, but it was just the start of something, right? We have declining EMAs still, right? We have declining EMAs, and we've remounted the 50-day moving average, but we're still kind of under a lot of supply, right? So this is, right, lower high, lower high, lower high. And so we have this kind of stuff to clear. So to get the market going, and I think today could be a one-off event. I don't really know. All we know right now is that we have, lower highs, and, if we break down and make a lower low, then okay, we're getting to the 200-day moving average. If we don't do that, then we may just chop around. But to get the market into that bullish phase that everybody likes, where you're like here, right, you need these 9 and 20 EMAs to start to curl up. So the first thing we need to do is we need to pop through and stay above these MAs, and then that 9 EMA will start to catch. As that starts to catch, then you'll start to see, right, the 20 also, and you'll have the 9 over the 20, and then this 50 will kind of come like this, and that's when you get those kind of, bullish thrusts. And so there still needs to be some backing and filling in this. You need these EMAs to curl up, and then you also need to take out this high to break the series of, lower highs that we're having. So does this mean we're in a bear market, bearish market? No. It means we're in a range market. Range market is what? Hey, one day's up, one day's down, one day's up, one day's down. Stocks look like they're going to break out, then they break down. They look like they're going to break down, and then they break out. It's just a classic, right? Everything that you do, if you just do the opposite, you make money. It's like opposite day, right? Like, what day was it in the 90s, opposite day? I think that was Wednesday, right? So, we replace opposite day with hump day, which is obviously a little bit more fun for some of us, but opposite day has been replaced with hump day, but we're bringing it back. Now that the market's stuck in range, we are back into just opposite day. That means whenever you see a hot little number, it pulls back. And then when you see like this, it goes back. I'll give you case in point, man. Case in point of all this, like in terms of just describing range price action. If you look at something like these fucking, right, 30 McGee's, like RGTI. These things gapped down this morning. They look like they were going to roll over. They had this nasty action in the pre-market too. Hold on here. Let me bring this up. Watch this. So in the pre-market, you had this huge dump. And you're like, yeah, these things are going to fucking rage, right? And then, boom, like it just pops up and you're like, oh shit, we're kind of testing into yesterday's highs. And look, we could break out here. And then it goes, ramp. And then you're like, oh my God, like here, we're going to break down, right? And then you ramp it back and, you get into this kind of, right, weird action where you're like, what's up? What am I seeing, right? And so that can often happen. We were trading this QUBT and it was like, it was ramping down huge. It dropped 40%, 35%, between the high pre-market high and the couple of minutes at the open. And then it was like, whoop, right into your EMAs. And then, right, just like right back down into it. Just a little bit of a different type of action, right? A little bit of a different type of action. And then you can see, right, you're just getting faded off the whole day. And so you got just like a slightly, right, a slightly different kind of turn of events going on. So just something to be mindful of, that the price action is just shifting a little bit, and we just deal with it, right? It's not the the end of the world or anything like that. This is just range trading in a nutshell. It's just you sitting in the back seat of your buddy's Volkswagen. You're not right nut, you're not left nut, your penis in between us, right in the middle. It's an uncomfortable spot, but you'll get through it, right? So tomorrow, it's Friday, 0DTE day. We don't know if the market's up, down, or all around. So what we got to do is just trade small, trade fast, trade smooth. The SPY is just nudged right up against the 50-day moving average. This is the line in the sand, right? If you get rejected here, all right, still lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay, and if we break under the 9, we got to speed up and a gap to fill from here. So we've got some room. If we break over the 50, maybe we squeeze up to 600, all right? So that's kind of the tour de jour plan. Break over the 50, squeeze it to 600, right? Break under 590, 588, then, you fill this gap and maybe you come down here, all right? Not the sexiest of game plans, but that's all you can do kind of in range trading. Now let's get into the watch list for tomorrow. We'll keep it short and sweet. There's some good stocks out there. I put Serve on this watch list. There's a break at 20 here, 1975. This stock likes to go on Fridays. That's why I add it. For some reason, a Friday, it likes to do a little Friday phantasmal. So keep an eye on this one. CRDO, you still got a breakout here sitting up at 78. BE, this is a hot one because it's like, you had this big kind of, I don't know what that is, a wedgie McGee, right? Like big triangle fucking thing. But look, you got yourself, right? Just like a little grind down into the 50-day moving average. You're ripping riding at the 9. If it can kind of close over here, you might get this thing into 25. And if that coincides with the market bouncing, then you'll see this thing rip stick to 30 real quick. Without the market cooperation, I don't know if that happens. Hey, this Onan, dude, let me tell you something about these Onans. For you geezers out there, I'm a geezer, but I don't wear Onans. I don't wear shoes at all because I live in Florida. We're in the redneck Riviera. You don't wear no shoes, right? You go everywhere shirtless, toothless, and shoeless with a pack of ciggies and a busty babe with tattoos. I don't have any of those, but if I was truly living Florida life, that's what I would do, right? So look, this thing is tighter than the goose's caboose. This thing, they make those cloud shoes, like, the really ridiculous ones that cost like $400. But if you're like 50 years old, you kind of brag to your friends, like, yeah, I got these $300 cloud shoes. And everybody's like, yeah, those are really poofy shoes, right? It's kind of the Crocs for rich people and like rich Europeans and rich Americans, but it's like the Crocs for rich people, basically. Onan, the Crocs for rich white people, right? I mean, Crocs is also for white people, but you know what I mean. White people, you guys got a nice gig going, right? You can get away with anything and kind of make it look cool, right? It's like when you go to LA, it's like you got that hobo look. Everybody's like, dude, that guy's got style, right? But then if you were like in, somewhere else and you wore that, right? Like you would be like, you would get beat up, right? So it's like, a whole nice little thing you guys got going on. But this thing here, this is coiled up. You don't got our earnings are already out of the way. We got a little thing right there. Meta. Out of the big caps, I only put this one on and because it has a history of running on Fridays with the 0DTEs. I think because it does the least amount of volume out of these kind of mega studs. And you had a really tight range today. So my guess is whenever you see Meta, so Meta, look, has a 20 ATR. Whenever it moved in a $5 range today. Whenever you get something with a 20 ATR and it moves in a $5 range, you compress it like that in that kind of inside day, you're going to get a snappy move the next day. I don't know which way this thing breaks, but it tends to run hard on Fridays with the 0DT, so add it. This one is junk. Hey, this snow, this is a bottoming pattern. Nice volume accumulation. You get a little bit of an action at a little bit of inflection point at 170. This one has probably got a chance. After its earnings, it's just been kind of sitting here. I got some alerts set. I've started at 170.50. I put one at 171. See if it gets there. I think this is, or, you know, you hit it on the pullbacks, you know, but I think you're at a good spot right there. Hey, Riot, inside day today. So after that big trend day, really narrow range day again, right? You got kind of most of the day was sitting here at 40, 50 cents. Guys, stocks get their power from consolidation. They get their power from basing. This is a good look here, like it's got a chance. Let's add that bad boy. And then look, I got Apple here for a bear flag. It got rejected off the 50-day moving average. Big range today, 10 points. I didn't even see what the news was, but losing top line, you know, maybe this is something like that. Apple talks with Barclays for credit card partner. I don't think that was it. Yeah, I don't know what the reason for this thing to get dusted was, but that's a bear flag. It's a breakdown pullback. Let's see if we gap up tomorrow. If we run into some supply, we may be able to take this thing down. Hey, Rivian After Hours has some news out, right? Looks like there's something nice going on over here. And, dude, you got a decent-sized base coming up at 42 million shares in volume. I think we add this one for tomorrow. There's a little action after hours. Let's see what's going on with that bad boy. And, look, I got a couple shorts here also. You got Bear Flag and AMD. This is Bear Flag and Siggy Bear. So this is post or earnings, this gap, and then now you kind of build in a 3-bar pattern, right? If it takes out these earnings lows, that's a classic kind of short setup. It's got pretty good range on it. mRNA, same thing. This is an earnings play. Now you got, right, multiple days of just kind of meandering around. If it doesn't fill the gap to the upside, they usually will curl down and break these earnings day lows, and that really triggers a nice sell-off. And then you've got, you know, I got NBIS, but this needs about 1 or 2 days of sideways. In this market, you can't buy something that's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green days with one small red day kind of thing. You need some more marination. You got to let that hibachi grill butter up, baby, if you want this thing to really be good. Couple more specky names. I got the Spur, and I got this EOSE, which has got a lot of volume. Look at the base on this thing. Look at the big base on this thing, right? Look at the chompers on this fucking guy, right? Like, this thing's got some juice on it. Ah, man, that's refreshing right there. Look at that thing. 17 million shares in volume. Nice, beautiful trender. Watch for a weak open on this one tomorrow. I think this is the right time, right place for this type of stock, right? You got 200 million share for a $1 billion company, big base. You know, was a IPO just a couple years ago. That's the buenos. All right, guys, so that's the list. I'm sticking to it. I love you guys. Peace. Let me know if you have any questions. Smash that like button. Do whatever. Leave a comment. Don't leave a comment. Don't care. I love you all equally. Big or small, I love them all.